This app is currently in shambles, so I thought I would lighten the mood with a crazy story time. Welcome to part one of Last Year I Lost My Mind. Hope you enjoy. I used to use TikTok as Tinder. Before I started taking posting seriously, I used to exclusively post very cute videos of myself, and men from like all over the country would be in my DMs, and I was like, you know what, hey. We would FaceTime and stuff, talk all the time, but I never met them because they were from like Texas, Chicago. I'm from New York, by the way. And I'm sorry, but I'm not traveling far and wide for no. But there was one day that this guy hit me up from TikTok. We were mutuals for a while. And he hit me up on Instagram and he was like, "Oh, you so fine," something like that. I'm like, thank you. And at the moment, I wasn't talking to anybody, like in real life, on Instagram, on TikTok, nothing. So I said, you know what? Hey, immediately he was like trying to see me in real life. And like I said before, I'm a little hesitant to do the online dating in real life thing. This is really just make believe for me. But my friends were like, you know what, girl, you haven't talked to anybody in a while, you haven't dated anyone in a while, go out with him. Because he was trying to take me out. If you know, you know, if you're trying to take me out immediately, that's a green flag because men usually don't do that. They usually play around. So we had plans to go out and get ice cream or whatever, but then my friend had invited me to some family outing she was having. So I told him I couldn't go anymore. But he was like, no, I plan to see you today. I'm seeing you today. I'll see you after you come back from wherever you at. I said, oh. He said, everything's going to be closed. We can just go for a walk in Brooklyn Bridge Park. If you're from New York, like, you know, it's very romantical. Like, at night, there's, like, the carousel, there's lights, there's the water. It's very pretty, you know what I'm saying? And he drives. Another green flag. So he came to my crib. He picked me up. I was like, I'm shaking in my boots as I'm walking to the car because what the hell? What if he's a catfish? Like, what if he's an ex-murderer? But I got in the car. He wasn't an ex-murderer, so that was great. And, you know, he was complimenting me, whatever, whatever. I'm still a little hesitant, but on the drive there, we were talking about likes and dislikes and things like that. And one thing about me, fun fact, I enjoy like pop music and like show tunes. So everyone always makes fun of me for it. So when he asked me what type of music do I like, I told him the truth. And his reaction was something I never saw ever in my life. He lit up. Do you know how rare it is that you're going to find a black man that is not corny, who enjoys Disney movies, Broadway shows, pop songs, all that type of stuff? When I tell you, I'm sitting in the car like, Jesus, did I just find my husband? We get out the car, we start walking around the park. It was very beautiful. It was very romantic and a little bit too much for me. Like, I don't know. The title of this is Last Year I Went Crazy. If I'm being honest, I've been crazy my whole life. I've always struggled with like depression, anxiety, da da da. So I am not a relationship person because I feel like it's unfair to the person and myself to put myself in a relationship if I'm not all the way there mentally. But at that point in time, I felt grounded. And honestly, I go through ups and downs. And at that point, I was at an up. So I said, you know what? Maybe this is real. Maybe God is telling me that I'm ready. I feel great right now. He's really nice. We clicked immediately. Like, this feels different. And I saw y'all jumping on.
It be them type of situations for real that quickly remind people that, sometimes it's really just not worth it. Just go on ahead and get back to staying to yourself. But let's continue.
On Talitha the other day about her and her relationship with God and her relationship with men and da 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 da. And honestly, sometimes you convince yourself that it's God when it's really just your delusion. So I can't judge her for real because after we walked around for a while, we get back in the car and he's driving me back home. And he was like, he wanted to play me one of his favorite songs, which was a country song. Again, what black man do you know who listens to that shit? Especially not from New York, like country.
To be honest, a lot of brown skinned men listen to country music for real. It's shocking to see, who really do, but they do for real.
Music and Amiri jeans. Like, that's so amazing. So after that first time meeting each other, we were speaking on the phone all the time. But he was a busy guy. One, he's a content creator. He has a podcast. He had a job. He had a lot going on. So we would always just talk on the phone. And this is where, honestly, looking back on it, Red flag. Fuck the green flags. We're on to the red flags. How did we go from, oh, I'm seeing you right now, I'm going to take you out, I'm going to take you out, to, oh, yeah, just call me, I'm going to call you later. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Like, what's going on? I'm just going to give a disclaimer from now. You're going to call me a dumb bitch approximately maybe 15 times. This
That's
is the first
terrible.
time. The next time I saw him, he came over to my apartment. Oh, okay, let me hear it. Okay, curse me out. We was hanging out, we was just watching TV, and then the TV was watching us. Okay, let me hear it.
Hmm.
Curse me out. Okay. He spent the night, and then from then on, if I'm being 100% honest, every other time I saw him, we was just, oh. Like, swear to you, it was very frequent. I would be going out. This was during the summertime. I was outside with my friends all the time getting drunk. What happens when you drunk? Hey, where you at? Oh, okay. So in my head, this was nothing serious. Like, I'm not a dum dum. Like, I know this sounds like I'm a dum dum, but I'm not a dum dum. I knew what was going on. I'm like, you know what? This not my man. Like, he's my little, my little yeah. So tell me why one day we're on the phone, and right before he hangs up, he's like, all right, love you, bye. So I'm like, he must have said that by accident. Like, that must have been, I'm not even going to bring it up. But then tell me why the next time we saw each other, to scoop don't, before he leaves, he's like, oh, I love you. I said, love me? Who do you love?
Who do you
Who?
love?
He's like, what's the problem? What the hell do you mean, what is the problem? Here we go. We're going to have to start counting up the red flags. What are you talking about? I just met you. We just. So I respectfully tell him, I'm not going to lie, don't say that. I don't know if this sounds crazy, but I don't care. That was making me feel uncomfortable. Like, I felt like, how when a man is manipulating you? Like, I felt that. I felt it, like, seeping out of his pores. Bullshit. Like my delusional, oh my God, God put him in my path thing faded away the third time that we, because I was like, I don't think that Jesus would have me doing this. Like, this don't, mm-mm. So all that I love you shit, that was not gonna fly with me. But for some reason, he thought that that was the funniest thing in the world. So every single time he would talk to me on the phone, see me in real life, or like text me, he would end it with, I love you. This is going to be the end of part one because the bullshit is going to start right now. I wouldn't let him tell me that he loved me because
I'm not even gonna lie. The fact that that was like the whole part one is crazy. I thought we was just gonna have a continuous story time, but it's kind of crazy already a little bit, just a tad.
every single time he was saying it, it seemed like a joke, right? This is part two to the story. Go back to part one if you need to. Around this time, my cousin was going back up to school. Me and my mom and my mom's friend took my cousin up to school, right? So we're driving to Albany, and on the way there, my mom was asking about the guy that I've been seeing, right? She didn't know that it was mostly just scooped open, but I was like, he keep telling me that he loved me, and I'm just not feeling that right now. Like, that's crazy. So both my mom and her friend were dying laughing, and they were like, what the hell do you mean? Like, why won't you let him love you?
See, I'm gonna pause right here. I'm not even gonna lie. Well, clearly I'm gonna pause whenever I feel like it, but this she making me feel like I think I might be, slightly a little toxic because I mean I've been in them situations for real, and when I say them situations where it's just, you know what I'm saying, it's that, but y'all like hanging around each other, I guess. But I be telling people I love them because I really do love them. Like in real life, I love. But it's not like I'm in love with you type of love, right? Like I just feel like people need to have the opportunity to hear that, somebody loves them for real. But let's continue.
That sounds insane. I have never been in a real relationship with a man, okay? I don't know how that works. I don't know how fast is too fast, how slow is too slow. So I was listening to my mom and her friend explain to me that for some people, it doesn't take years and years to realize how they feel, right? Some people just know. So I'm listening to them, right? And I'm like, maybe I am being a little crazy. I know that I don't love him yet. I know that for us, I don't think we're there yet. But I said to myself, after listening to them and their advice, that I should let him like me at least, okay? And I should allow myself to like him, okay? This is where shit starts to go downhill because I never should have done that. As a woman, if you're giving your body to someone over and over, occasionally, most often, okay, you start to develop feelings anyway. So I knew that I was starting to feel a little something, but I wasn't allowing myself to feel. And I really, honestly, that's a whole bunch of shit that I'm still working on, like unpacking childhood trauma and not trusting men and my father not really in my life, all that type of shit. Y'all understand. So after that revelation, I decided to take him out on a date. Okay. Y'all, what did I say? You're going to call me dumb 15 times. This is number 2. I had to get more comfortable. But my parents
That
work in the
bonnet
music
is cute.
industry, so I get free concert tickets all the time. And Drake was having a concert at Barclays Center. I said, you know what? What man would say no to Drake tickets? Nobody. So I hit him up. I just realized I did not give him a fake name. What are we going to call him? We're going to call him Damon, okay? So I hit up Damon and I was like, hey, do you want to go see Drake? Of course he said yes. So I sent him his ticket and we planned to meet at Barclays Center. I get there, he meets me. And honestly, this was the first time that we had been out for dumb long. So it was kind of awkward for like 2 seconds, but then I was like, I fuck with you, so it's fine. The seats were fantastic. The vibe was cute because Drake was like doing the old school shit. Old school Drake is the perfect vibe. Like it sets the vibe, it sets the tone. And I let my guard down the entire.
Yeah, I think Views from the Six. Yeah, that was probably the only album I fully listened to, I think, from Drake. And yeah, I could play that. I could have that on repeat for real. Definitely.
Night. He did too. And I don't know, we just clicked. I mean, we clicked from before, but that night was like okay, like I could see this going somewhere kind of thing. I forgot to mention something. Do you remember when I said that me and my mom took my cousin to school, right? On that trip, I'm going to change the number because I don't want to give out nobody information. But on the way there, I kept seeing the same number. Like, I'm going to just say, I don't know, 1312, right? Let's just say that's what it was. So I keep seeing 1312, 1312. The exit we supposed to get off, 1312. We walking past trying to find her new apartment number, 1312. I'm looking at the time, 1312. It was just like, what the hell? That's crazy. And after the Drake concert, this was the first night that we ever hung out. This was the first night that we ever really hung out and didn't. So he drives me home, and right before I get out the car, he put in his address into the GPS. Do y'all want to know what the number was?
That number.
1312. If you remember in part 1, I said when we first met, I was feeling like this is such like a matchy, clicky feeling. Is this supposed to be my husband? Like, Jesus, is this a sign? And I decided that it wasn't a sign because we was just sleeping together. But then after all of this and, you know, having a conversation with my mom, oh, the numbers is adding up and the numbers is clicking, the click, matchy. Oh my God, we're meant to be together. That thought came back into my head. Jesus Christ. After the Drake concert, we kind of fell back into the same pattern of seeing each other all the time, but just sleeping together. But at this point now, I'm delusional. Okay, because I'm thinking it's a sign. I'm thinking this is my husband. You guys, I can literally feel you judging me through the screen, like, please stop. So, we're sleeping together frequently, unprotected, and I have a pregnancy scare, as one does. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And I've had scares in the past, and I never tell the guy, like, anything because it's like, I'm not about to stress you out for no reason. I'll tell you what I know for sure. So when I realized that there was nothing going on, I told him, like, oh, haha, guess what? I thought I was pregnant, but I'm not. And he was like, why would you do that? Like, you're supposed to tell me that, you know? He was like, you didn't make this problem yourself. We made this problem together. Don't ever stress by yourself about something that we did together. I'm like, wow, this is a man. Like, he care about me. He don't want me to be panicking by myself, all type of shit. Lord. And remember how I told you that I made him stop saying I love you? So he asked if we could say like you a lot when we would hang up the phone instead of love you. So we started this cute thing where we'd be like, okay, I'll talk to you later. I like you a lot. Very disgusting. Very disgusting. But I'm going to end part 2 right here. Okay, bye guys. Like you a lot. Chance and Fuhad have taught us that men with podcasts are problematic, right? Honestly, we've known that since before that. In part one, if you remember, I told y'all that Damon had a podcast. Please let that give you a hint about how this is about to go. So, like I said, everything is fine and dandy. It's so cute. It's so great. Oh, like you a lot. Yada yada. Okay, and at this point now, we're talking a lot more about like deeper topics and not just like surface level shit. One day he had hit me up and sent me this whole message about how thankful he is for me and how I take care of him and cater to him and listen to him and speak to him so nicely and like with respect and da 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 da. And I was like, wow, like thank you, but like why did you just say that? Like I just said, Damon has a podcast. Without giving too much away, because I don't want y'all to know who I'm talking about, there's a girl on the podcast. Okay? So if you were watching and you didn't know what was going on, you would swear to God that him and the girl is fucking. You would swear to God that they fucking. So if you remember in part one, I said that we met on TikTok. We were mutuals, and honestly, I was shocked when he first hit me up because I thought that they were together. But he told me that like that's just a ruse. You know what I mean? It's for the views. But that day, him and Jessica got into a big ass argument. Honestly, since I knew him and Jessica was always arguing like a married couple, but I guess this day it got out of hand and it got so bad that the place that they record their podcast at, the guys there had to like break them apart because it was getting out of hand and then I had to break them up into separate rooms. This was the first time that I was speaking to him and the red flag actually hit me in the face. And I was like, wait, this is how you deal with conflict with women? And if this is just your friend, why is there so much emotion? What's going on? You know what I mean? One thing about me, I'm going to tell you the truth. It's the Virgo in me. I'm very blunt. And I told him that he was wrong. Like, that's not how you talk to your friends. You know what I mean? That's not how you talk to your coworkers. And that's not how you talk to women. And he was receptive to my feedback. But I kind of just observed what happened there, took it in, and I kind of just let it go. But that moment was very telling. And that moment was important for later. So keep that in your memory bank. Fast forward, if you remember, I said I took him to the Drake concert. At this point now, he knows about my family and like our connections or whatever. He asked me specifically to take him to the Jonas Brothers concert. I took him to Drake. We went out for that walk. And we have been talking for a few months at this point. Those were the only 2 times that we have ever gone out. That's stupid. Okay. So I'm like, at this point, I'm getting a little tight because I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why are we not going out? Like, why are you not taking me places? And are you broke? Because I'm like, what's going on right now? And he had said, you know, money was a little tight, yada yada, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll get the tickets. Let's just go. The day of, I go downstairs, he picks me up or whatever. I have a little attitude in the car because I just, you know, because I feel like I'm the man. Like, what is going on? And we talked about it or whatever. He said that.
Some people don't understand that's a real thing. Like, for real, I have a guy friend who I had to tell him, like he will read the heck out of me for one. But for two, I had to tell him like I'm tired of being a real nigga. Like I want to, have my soft woman. I want to be that. I want to actually step into and walk into and just be in my feminine. Like I'm tired of being the man in relationships for real. Like it's draining. People don't get that. It really be that way.
You know, he's trying to get his money right. He's trying to get his podcast, you know, to blow up a little bit more, trying to become more integrated into the social media world and networking and yada yada. He's really busy, but he's so sorry and he promises that he's gonna, you know, be better. So I'm like, whatever, let's just have a good time tonight. If you remember from part one, we had bonded over the fact that we like corny shit. Like we like Disney movie music and all that type of shit. So the Jonas Brothers was right up our alley. Great seats, great vibe. And when we got there, there was white girls behind us. I mean, there was white girls everywhere, but the white women behind us were obsessed with Damon because he was so excited. And honestly, as soon as fucking Joe Jonas started singing, it was like his inner child went crazy. Like, he was losing his mind. He knew all of the lyrics. I knew that he had asked me to take him, but I didn't think it was this deep. Honestly, everyone around us was just like smiling at me, like, oh, look at your man, kind of thing, you know, like, oh, he's so cute. And the girls behind me tapped me, and they were like, oh my God, no, can we please take a video of you guys? Like, give me your phone. You need to like capture this because you have to see what we're seeing. So I gave them my phone, and they recorded us from behind. And at that moment, they were singing, when you look me in the eyes, tell me that you love me, right? So now it's a little bit, you know, romantical. And I had my hand on his shoulder, and we were like swaying or whatever. And she gives it back to us. And she was like, first of all, invite us to the wedding, and you have to play this video at the wedding. Remember, I'm delusional, and this is already my husband. So I'm like, yes, exactly, period. So during intermission, we had gone up to go get some food from the concession stand. I was like setting up the condiments, like getting the ketchup and the barbecue sauce or whatever. And he was just like staring at me. And I was like, Damien, is everything okay? He was like, yeah, it's fine. I don't know. Like, I don't know. And I knew exactly what he was talking about, but I just left it alone because I was a little uncomfy. Like I said to y'all before, men, relationships, daddy issues. Okay, so I'm just like, we're just gonna ignore the fact that I'm kind of really liking you right now, and this is actually really cute, and I'm enjoying seeing you enjoy yourself so much, and I'm very happy that I could do this for you, kind of thing. So we get back down, and we can't find our seats because it's huge, it's dark, we don't know where we're going. All the security guards didn't know where the fuck anything was. So I finally go up to one security guard, and I asked him again, and he was like, oh, I think it's back there. I'm like, you think? Like, why do none of y'all know where the stuff is? He got like snippy with me, and he was like, he kind of like got like close to me and was like not yelling but like being rude. And Damon looked up. Mind you, Damon is a short king. So Damon looked up and pushed me back. We was about to get kicked out. We was about to get kicked out. He was like, what the fuck who you talking to? Like, and that made my kitty tingle. I said, you defending me in front of this big ass, dumbass security guard? Thank you. After the security guard was yelling at me or whatever, and he defended me, that plus the swaying, plus the emotional when you look me in the eyes song, plus him looking at me all weird when we was getting the condiments. When we sat back down, I started staring at him. He was focused on the concert, so he didn't really see me looking at him, but I was like, oh fuck. Do I love this nigga? Like, so he had sat back down and he looked at me and he was like, what? I was like, nothing. He was like, tonight feels different, right? I said, yeah. Like, we both knew what was going on, but he was respecting that I said, don't say that shit. And I had it in my head, don't say that shit. But we get back to the car, and I felt like I needed him in that, like, I needed him. Like, I felt like I was going crazy. Like, I was itching to, like, rip his clothes off. And I was like, how did it get from, like, oh my God, like, I'm enamored by him to, like, right now, like, I don't know what the fuck. But we got back to my place, and it was going on for hours. like, it was a long, periodically time. Like, the next day when I woke up, he was already awake, and he was, like, editing a video to post on Reels. Like I said, we're social media people. So it was of the concert. He had made a whole bunch of, like, content or whatever. I was helping him make his content, yada, yada. But I'm looking at his reel, and my face is in it. I said, oh, baby, no, I don't give a fuck how many butterflies I got. Take it off now. He's like, bro, what's the problem? Like, it's not that serious. I can't post to you. I'm like, no. He was like, ugh.
See, I mean, they were talking for a few months at this point, but I guess like for the simple fact that she already said that it wasn't like necessarily, I guess, a relationship, then yeah, that would have to take some conversation. But that she just made me remember I was, I don't even know what to call the situation. Like we was just vibing, I guess you could say. But at the end of the day, like when we would kick it, this person I used to talk to, when we would kick it, we would do like little Snapchat things, like because I never really do that with people. So we were, heavy on the Snapchat filters, taking pictures, whatever, whatever. But then I went to his Facebook and I just see me all up and I'm like, I'm gonna need you to not do that. You know what I'm saying? And he was posting me to his Snapchat story and all this. And I'm like, why are we doing that? Like, we don't need to do that. Because I'm not gonna post you nowhere because it's not what this ain't that type of situation. Like that's weird to me. But yeah.
Whatever, fine. And I'm like, damn, like I I think I love him, like, and he's acting a little bit different right now. Like, why all of a sudden does he want to post my face? Like, are we getting serious? Whoa, like, oh my god, I might have my first boyfriend. Like, that's what I was thinking in my head. It was just great energy because not only did we have the Jonas Brothers concert, but his content creation was like going to the next level, and he was going to do like videography for people for their brand trips. So he was going to Florida in a couple of days. It was just good energy all around. He was so excited about like us and like his career opportunities and da 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 da. So the next 2 days he was like packing, getting ready for his trip. He gets to Florida. He's so excited. He's calling me. He's showing me the hotel and everything. And I'm like, oh, my baby, like, he's doing so good, blah, blah, blah. I'm so proud of him. And like I said, my
Well, I guess I've kind of been corrected. I guess they were in a relationship. But yeah, I mean, still, I don't know.
family's in the industry, so whenever we get tickets, it's around like other industry people, and they saw me and him, and they were like, "Oh my god, you guys were so cute." I'm just feeling like I'm feeling the energy, right? This is the end of part three. This is basically I've been setting the stage this entire time, and I just want to say trigger warning for the next couple of parts. It's about to get very very dark, very very uncomfy. So if you not the type of person that want to hear no crazy shit like that, this is the last part for you.
Dang. I thought I had the whole. I gotta go find the rest of this. Hold on. Okay, so I went to go look for the part 4. She hasn't posted it. I don't know if she'll ever post it at this point, but y'all go ahead and tell me what y'all think about this. I mean, at this point, all we could do is speculate how this ended up. She said it was gonna get real crazy and real uncomfortable for some people, so and real dark. So I mean, we don't ever know what way it could go, you know. But anyways, thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.